let's join once again in the government game with Norma Ronald, Ronald Baddiley, John Graham, and the men from the ministry, Richard Murdoch and Deryck Guyler. Ministry men are often compared to corset fitters. They can push a problem out of sight by pulling a few strings. But in the General Assistance Department, that eager young executive, Richard Lamb, is completely caught up in his work.
Mildred.
What's the matter, Mr. Lamb? Here, you've got a funny colour.
I suddenly got this choking sensation.
Mr. Lamb, you've rolled your tie in the typewriter.
So I have. Look at this tie. I've typed your obedient servant just below the knot.
Why don't you leave the typing to me? It's not your job.
Well, it keeps my fingers nimble in between piano lessons. As long as I don't get mixed up.
Mixed up?
Last week I typed out the Bluebells of Scotland and played a memo to the Foreign Office.
Honestly.
Well, your typing's not all that hot, Mildred. Remember that note you did to the British Council about Sir Gregory's visit?
You mean where we said he was very important and would they help with his ventures?
Yeah, that's what it was supposed to say. You typed that he was very impotent and would they help with his dentures.
With Mr. Lennox Brown's dictation, I can't hear him properly through a mouthful of biscuits.
Well, you shouldn't eat biscuits when he's dictating.
Morning, Joel. Morning, Mildred.
Morning, sir.
Morning, one. You're early today.
Blessed alarm clock didn't go off.
And that made you early?
Well, one has a routine, you know. The thing goes off, you thump it and go back to sleep. Didn't go off this morning. Woke me immediately.
I'll put the kettle on, Mr. Lennox Brown.
Now then, what have we got to take? Two? Did you know you've got your obedient servant written on your tie?
Well, I nearly choked, you see, trying to keep my fingers supple. I caught my thing in the roller.
Silly of me to ask. What work have we got to do today?
We're still supposed to be helping the Ministry of Defence, looking after research and development.
Ah, yes. How's that new weapon coming along? The one that's undetectable on radar. Can't be jammed. Needs no fuel. What's it called again?
The bow and arrow.
That's the one, yes. Did you test it yourself, as I asked you?
Yes, but I don't think I quite got the hang of it. The arrow stayed put and I shot off.
Oh, that's a pity. Anything else on the drawing board?
Professor Mortimer's designed a new armoured car that should go forever without any petrol.
By Jove, that sounds like a breakthrough. How does it work, Joe?
It's built with the back wheels higher than the front, so it's always running downhill.
Yes, well, I don't think I'd put too much faith in that, too. For a start, how would you stop it?
It seems you lean out of the driving seat and shove a brick under the wheel.
Man's a fool. Come to think of it, he's the one who offered us the curved rifle to repel attacks from the rear.
I think he's ahead of his time, one.
Well, there are rumbles of discontent from the permanent undersecretary.
Sir Gregory? Oh, dear.
Yes, he thinks we should have more to show for 6 months' work. I'm trying to appease him. Taking him out to lunch today.
Good. That should stop him rumbling.
In fact, I'd better be off. Mustn't be late at the club.
But it's only 10:30.
Well, there's no sense in leaving things till the last minute. Might take a stroll through St. James's Park, sit by the duck pond. Take a handful of stale bread with me.
Won't that spoil your appetite?
Oh, Mr. Lennox Brown, I'm stopping for your tea.
No, I've changed my mind, Mildred. Business before pleasure, you know. Must be off.
Whoa, and I made it just the way he likes it. 8 spoonfuls of sugar. Took both hands to stir it.
He has got a sweet tooth. Took it out and showed it to me once.
Yeah, Mr. Lamb, I just remembered. The old porter rang. Asked if you'd pop down for a word with him.
Oh, Matthews, wonder what he wants. Oh, perhaps he's got something to give me.
Here you are, Mr. Lamb. This is yours, I think.
Oh, what is it?
It's your old pogo stick, innit?
But it's lost all its spring. I couldn't pogo with this pogo stick.
Well, if you can't pogo, you'll just have to stick... I mean, I'd be obliged if you'd take it away. And all this other stuff.
Good gracious.
Yeah, I'm turning out me cubby hole, see?
You have collected a lot of junk.
Yeah, and most of it's yours, mate, sir.
Is it? Oh.
15 years you've been piling it onto me. Matthews, look after this. Matthews, take care of that.
I didn't want to clutter my office, you see.
There's this umbrella what's got no cover on it. Just spokes.
Ah, yes, I didn't like to throw that away. Might come in handy for a day when it isn't raining.
Yes. Well, I don't want it.
But Matthew's an old umbrella with no cover. Where can I put it?
And then there's this old mangle. Can't think what you had that for in the first place.
The mangle. Ah, yes, I meant to take that home. Part of my economy drive. I worked out I could save 10 a year by forcing the last bit out of my toothpaste tubes.
Sort of credit squeeze, eh?
Very satirical, Matthews. And here's my old motor horn. I remember buying that. I was thinking of learning to drive at the time. I thought I'd master the horn before I went on to the tricky bits.
I'll be glad if you take it away, sir, along with this here perambulator.
A pram? I left a pram here?
Yeah, it was Jubilee year, wasn't it? Young Mr. French from the Foreign Office came over queer at a party. And you wheeled him back here in it.
Good Lord, I don't remember that.
You thought it was a racing car, and this was the start of the Monte Carlo rally.
Well, if you insist, you can load all the stuff in the pram and I'll take it up to the office. I'll have to get rid of it later.
Right, sir. Brolly, stuffed owl, polo mallet, mangle, motor horn, dartboard.
Encyclopedia Giganticus, volumes glued to dog, 10-chip billiard balls, 1 rusty gong with a dent in it, 6 rusty springs. Where'd you get them?
Harridge's. They were having a spring sale.
I've never seen such a load of old rubbish.
It's nice and tidy, packed in this pram. All I got to do now is to get rid of it.
Here, perhaps you could flog it to a junk shop. There's one round the corner with a notice outside. We buy old junk and sell valuable antiques.
I can't wheel it through the streets like this. I mean, I'd feel such a fool.
Hang on, there's an old blackout curtain in the mat cupboard. You could cover it up with that. Yes, here we are.
Oh, yes, the old blackout curtain.
That's it, over the top and down.
Right, yeah.
With tidy ends underneath.
Good idea, so as no one can see what's inside. There, that looks better, all covered up.
Yeah, looks like one of them music things with the handle of the mangle sticking out like that. Let's give it a turn and see what happens.
Oh, no, I shouldn't. No, it's very carefully balanced. You disturbed all the bits and pieces.
Oh, won't do any harm. Let's see. Not much of a tune, but I like the backing.
Well, that's that, Mildred. I'll leave it here by the desk till LB gets back from lunch. Then I'll wheel it off to the junk shop.
Oh, yeah, look at the time. I better dash. I want to watch the workmen on that building site over the road.
Ah, you like the one with the snakes tattooed on his arm, don't you?
They're going to blow up that old house over there as part of the rebuilding scheme.
Blow it up? Won't that be dangerous?
No, not the way they do it. Limited explosion, it's called.
Oh.
He says they use lots of little charges and the building just collapses when they press their thingy. I said I'd go and watch.
Oh, I don't know, Mildred. You shouldn't really leave the office empty.
But it won't be empty, Mr. Lunn. You'll be here.
No, I shan't. I'm coming with you. I love explosions.
But if you don't let me go, you can't come with me.
That's the point. Well, perhaps just this once. After all, LB and Sir Gregory should be back here soon.
Not a bad lunch, Lennox Brown. Not bad at all.
Thank you, Sir Gregory. Very gracious of you to say so, sir.
But you needn't think you've appeased me on this slow progress. 6 months your department's been helping the Ministry of Defence, and you've nothing to show for it.
Well, we're trying, Sir Gregory. Sparing no effort.
And why is no one in the office at 2 to 3 in the afternoon?
Well, it's because they're all out, you see.
Well, the fact is you've not come up with one worthwhile device. I don't believe you've been working on anything. Hello? What's this thing with the wheels beside Lamb's desk?
That thing there. Yes. That, yes. Well, that's, well, it's a Wotsit, Sir Gregory.
What? You mean this is something you're working on?
Yes. That'll be one of the things we're working on, I think.
Oh, well, I'm glad to hear it. It looks rather odd, though. I mean, wheels, that handle sticking out, covered in some sort of black material. And you say it's called a Wotsit?
Well, I meant that is to say yes. Yes, it's a Wotsit.
What exactly does it do?
Do? Oh, yes. What do you think it does, Sir Gregory?
Well, I don't know, do I? I've never seen the thing till I walked in this office.
No, neither did I. What does it do? Yes.
Come on, man. You set up the research program and had it made, so what does it do?
It's rather hard to describe.
In that case, I'll try it for myself.
Well, I'm not sure, Sir Gregory.
Wheel it over to the window here where the light's better. I suppose you, turn this handle, eh?
Well,
Strange noise, but nothing seems to have happened.
Well, it takes a few moments to,
Run out of the window. That derelict house opposite has blown up. The one on the building site.
Has it? Oh, yes, it has, yes. Well, blown up.
Fantastic. What a weapon you've developed here. No shells or bombs. Just point the Wotsit, turn the handle, and the target blows up.
It does? I mean, it does, yes.
Yeah. Good job that house was derelict. I suppose that's why you didn't stop me.
Yes, I suppose it was.
Stop being cagey, the secret's out. We'll all share the glory. Bravo, your department.
Oh, thank you, Sir Gregory. Very glad you're pleased.
Well, I suppose the Wotsit works on some system of recycling a laser beam at a velocity of EM squared and then converting the flow to latent energy.
Well, you're almost right, Sir Gregory.
I can't keep up with you technical chaps, but I know a breakthrough when I see it. Well done, Lennox Brown.
All part of the job, sir?
Splendid.
Yeah.
I'll arrange for a full-scale test under field conditions. Top priority. By George, wait till the minister hears about this. By George.
Bad lunch for the canteen, was it?
Not bad. The place was nice, but I didn't think much of the tartar sauce.
Tartar? That was custard, Mr. Lad. I wondered why you were pouring it on your fish.
Oh, there you are, you two. Well, you shouldn't leave the office empty like that, you know.
I'm sorry, one, but lunch, you see, and before that we went across to the building site to watch.
Yes, well, never mind. Mildred, I'm sure you've some work in the outer office. Some work.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Righty-ho, sir.
All right. Now then, Sue. There's something you must clear up.
Oh, yes, it's this thing, isn't it? I thought you'd be annoyed. I'll get it out of the way at once. I'll just wheel it off.
Sue,
and then we...
Where do you think you're going with that?
Well, I thought I'd get rid of it.
Get rid of it? But what's it? Are you mad? Don't you realize Sir Gregory's keen on it?
He is?
Yes. You're a bit of a dark horse, too.
Am I?
Didn't tell me about all this. You must have put a lot into it, eh?
Oh, I did. You mean you're interested, too?
Well, naturally.
I tell you what, highest bidder can have the lot. I'd even throw in a pair of old cycle clips from my drawer.
Talking about, too. It's this Wotsit here I'm interested in, this new super weapon.
Super weapon? I thought you meant this pram-load of junk. Oh, here's the blackout curtain slipping. I'll just take it off and refasten it.
What are you doing? No, careful. That thing is dangerous. It's a rusty manual, billiard balls, dinner gong.
It's all good quality stuff, one.
But the building, it blew up.
Yes, the council workmen. We watched them. Very skillfully done, I thought.
Good heavens. Good heavens. What till I tell Sir Gregory? He will be amused.
Will he?
Well, perhaps not. Still, I'd better do it now before he takes it further. Cram load of junk, all this. Lennox Brown. Sir Gregory. Yes, I was just about to call you, sir.
You're excited about your Wotsit.
Well, I think I ought to tell you... This'll amuse you, Sir Gregory.
The government are excited, too. I tell the PM of the hard work we both put into it.
Oh.
The Minister of Defence has ordered an immediate test. All the top brass have been informed, not to mention NATO, CETO, and all our other allies.
Oh.
Turn the whole of Whitehall into a tizzy. Now, what did you want to tell me?
I thought of starting my leave today, sir.
Not possible, Lennox Brown. We've you've got to be at the test tomorrow, Salisbury Plain. See that the Wotsit's in good working order. I hold you responsible. By George, we'll show the world what Britain can do.
What's the matter, man? You've gone white.
Well, there's nothing else for it. We'll have to go along and... Are you a religious man, too?
By Jove, Lennox Brown, it's nippy out here.
Well, I suppose it's always nippy on Salisbury Plain.
You got the Wotsit, Lamb?
Yes, Sir Gregory. It was kind of you to give us an escort of armoured cars and close the roads to other traffic.
Couldn't risk delay with something as vital as this. My word, I'd hate anything to go wrong with the test. It'd finish me.
I don't feel very well, Sir Gregory.
The suspense. I know you're thinking of all that's gone into this thing.
Yes.
Here's the Field Marshal. Cancelled his trip to the States to be here. Good afternoon, Field Marshal.
Good afternoon, Pitchy. Are we all set? They're going to go smoothly, I hope.
Yes, everything ready, sir.
Good.
Do you really need me here, Sir Gregory? I mean, Lamb's the one who did all this. I mean, I mustn't take any credit.
Don't be so modest, Lennox Brown. It's your department, isn't it?
Yes, that's right, it is. He did it all, really. I hardly had anything to do with it.
Come along, you two. It's a team effort. The fact is, we're all in it.
Is this the thing, eh? The Wotsit, huh? Doesn't look much.
That's another advantage. Small, easily mobile, but just wait till you see what it does.
Yes, well, come along, then. Come along.
Right, off you go, Lamb. Point the Wotsit at that old blockhouse and wind the handle.
Hey, wait a minute. There's an aeroplane up there. Look, one of those little fiber cup things. It's circling around. You know, it might be spies or something. We must cancel the demonstration.
Nonsense. Probably some flying club. Carry on, Lamb. Spies, indeed. Sometimes you amaze me, Leonard Brown.
Well,
fly directly over them, Comrade Ivan. I wish to photograph their doings.
Yes, Comrade Magda. It was good you heard of this test from the Union Minister last night.
Poor fool. He thinks I am Welsh. Once I have let him play with my balalaika, he tells me everything. Go down lower, Ivan.
Well, the plane is very sluggish, Comrade Magda. I don't understand it.
Come along, Lamb. Don't just stand there dithering. Get on with it. Turn the blessed handle.
Oh, very well.
Yes?
I can't stand it. Tell him one.
Yes. Well, it takes a moment to warm up, sir, you know. We haven't fully worked out all the... Well, now, how can I put this?
Oh, heavens, Pitkin! That aircraft engine is cutting out. Look at the thing. It's wobbling all over the sky.
What is wrong with the engine, Comrade Ivan?
See? We have run out of fuel.
Run out of fuel? I said to fill up before we took off.
I thought you meant the flask of vodka.
You bungling fool! Now we get no photographs and worse. This spy plane may fall in the hands of the British.
I am sorry, Comrade Magda.
Oh, deviation is big. It is fortunate we plan to destroy this plane after landing. Set off the delayed action bomb now. It will give us just time to bail out.
This is amazing. Look at that plane. The engine stopped. 2 people have bailed out. Keep turning that handle, Lamb.
Well, if you insist.
You've done it again, Lennox Brown. Good Lord, this Wotsit is more powerful than we thought.
Yes, I've never seen anything like it. It cut out the plane's engine, gave the crew time to get clear, then blew the thing up.
It ignored the blockhouse and selected the more important target. You never mentioned the Wotsit could think for itself, Lennox Brown.
Oh, no. We thought we'd keep it as a surprise, sir. Didn't we, too?
Surprise, yes.
Oh, what an achievement. I suppose the Wotsit uses some sort of oscillator beam to induce metal fatigue, eh, Lamb?
Yes, that's it. Ooh, there's another plane up there. Shall I do it again?
No, don't get carried away. Just leave it at that. Somebody up there likes us.
And here is the news read by John Strait. The Minister of Defence announced today that British scientists have developed a new super weapon, the Wotsit. He suggested this would strengthen the Foreign Secretary's hand at the forthcoming Berlin conference. He will be arguing from a position of strength, he said. Other nations will know he has a powerful Wotsit. He will not be afraid to draw attention to it. Later in the day, there was a massive demonstration by the Campaign for Peaceful Coexistence. They smashed a large number of windows, kicked a policeman, and marched down Whitehall chanting, "Ban the Wotsit."
I had to put it off. I can't stand it. Any minute someone will find out it's just a pram full of junk.
Not while it's here in the office.
We can't keep it here forever. They're talking of mass producing them.
Pull yourself together, too.
Excuse me, please. My comrade and I are from the gas board. We are come to repair the central heating. God save the Prince Regent.
The gas board? Well, our central heating is oil-fired.
Whatever it is, we are here to repair it.
So if you'll just leave us alone in the office, we will get on with the job.
I say, they've got cameras slung around their necks and fur hats on and overcoats down to their ankles.
Well, we'll let you get on with the job.
Good. We work much better alone.
Right, yes. Well, you'll make sure no one looks at our secret weapon, won't you? That's it, over there.
Aren't you being a bit thrilled?
Quiet, too. Just come with me.
But just a minute, we've left them alone in the office. Don't you see? They've come to steal the secrets of our weapon.
What secrets? Pram load of assorted rubbish?
Oh, yes, I see what you mean. What do you think we should do?
Be quick, Ivan. It is fortunate we have the latest equipment. Set up a camera tripod and flash powder.
What fools the British are. We took them in so easily, even though I forgot to remove my party badge. Are you sure this room has no hidden microphones or secret cameras?
Of course I have checked. There is no possible way they can observe our doings. No possible way they can check on us.
Come along, too. What can you see through the keyhole?
They're taking pictures all round the pram. They've even lifted the blackout curtain. They're looking puzzled.
I'm not surprised.
Now they're photographing the inside.
Splendid. This could be our way out, too. If what I think will happen does happen, we'll be all right.
And here is the news read by Anna Perv. Russian scientists claim to have matched Britain's new super weapon. There were cheering crowds in Moscow today as the Soviet premier showed off his Wotsit to Western observers. Our reporter says it appears identical to the British Wotsit and even made the same squeaking noise as it was wheeled along by the Supreme Marshal of the Soviet Armed Forces. Pressed for details of the Wotsit's performance, a Russian spokesman said it had been tested both in the air and underground with surprising results. He refused further comment beyond describing it as a terrible weapon.
Well, you two, it's all over.
What is the...
The Wotsit. We've reached the end of the road.
You mean they found out? Oh, it wasn't us, Sir Gregory. It's all a mistake. I wasn't well at the time.
Be quiet. Be quiet and listen to Sir Gregory.
I don't know what Lamb's talking about. I came to tell you that both British and Russian Wotsits have been burned to ashes under United Nations supervision.
Burned to ashes?
And under the Strategic Arms Limitation Treaty, there'll be no more Wotsits in the future. The Prime Minister will tell the nation tonight on TV.
It's a wise decision, Sir Gregory. The Wotsit was too deadly a weapon to continue with. Best to call a halt while it's still in our power.
Well, that's the government's view. You'll just have to come up with something else, Lennox Brown. Something effective, but not quite so deadly.
Two, we're off the hook.
Thank heavens, one. But I don't see why the government agreed to destroy the Wotsit.
They heard that the Russian Wotsit was twice as powerful as ours. Put the wind up them.
But ours didn't work at all.
And neither did the Russians. But they weren't going to admit that. So they exaggerated more than we did and frightened the life out of us. But the point is, we're all right. You see, it's all over.
Mr. Lamb, is that your thingy in the corridor? That sort of golf bag on wheels?
Yes, Mildred. Matthews packed the last of my junk in it, except for the indoor aerial, and he stood that on top. Something wrong?
Sir Gregory twiddled the aerial on his way down the passage. And just at that moment, Fatty Scott was passing and his trousers fell down.
Poor old Fatty. He won't wear braces, you see.
Mildred, you don't think... Sir Gregory doesn't
He
think...
went straight in that door marked anti-personnel weapons, shouting another breakthrough.
If anyone wants me, I'm on sick leave.
So am I.
In the Wotsit, as the men from the ministry were Richard Murdoch and Deryck Guyler. Also featured were Norma Ronald, Ronald Baddiley and John Graham. The programme was written by Johnnie Mortimer, Brian Cooke and Edward Taylor and produced by Edward Taylor. Time to meet the men from the ministry. Let's take another kick at the seat of government with Norma Ronald, Ronald Baddiley, John Graham, and the men from the ministry, Richard Murdoch and Deryck Guyler. Ministry men are like fitted carpets. When you get them in a corner, they're hard to pin down. But at the General Assistance Department, that eager young executive, Richard Lamb, is always up to date. If new equipment is installed, you can be sure he has a hand in it.
Mildred, this address stamping machine, I've caught my hand in it.
Oh, you are careless, Mr. Lamb. There. You got an address written on your palm.
Huh? Oh, so I have. Mrs. Llewellyn, the Bellin Wellin.
Now, don't you let the postboy see you, or he'll stamp you and shove you in his sack. Oh, it'll take you hours to scrub that off.
Waste of a morning. I could have been doing something useful, like sorting my stamp collection.
You and your stamps.
I got a new one last week. Look, a real beauty. Very rare, do not bend from the Foreign Office.
I never knew anyone collect rubber stamps before. I mean, what's so rare about this one?
It's a misspelling, you see. It actually says, do not bned. Just think, this stamp's been baffling postmen for years, and now it's mine.
Here, what happened to that big one that said fragile?
It broke.
Shame. And were you after a permission refused from the Home Office?
Yes, I wrote and asked them for one, and...
Well, what happened?
Well, they stamped my letter permission refused and said they hadn't got one.
Not a lot.
Still, I got an interesting stamp last week, see? We ain't interested. That's from the Department of Education.
Morning, Joe. Morning, Mildred.
Afternoon one.
Oh, it's satire now, is it? Well, I am a little late due to trouble at the railway station.
Oh, what happened, sir?
I was engrossed in my newspaper when the train pulled in and I got into the 8th carriage.
And that's why you were late?
Yes, blessed train only had 7 today. Felt a fool sitting there reading between the lines.
Along with the rest of the sleepers, eh? That'll be Sir Gregory again. He's been ringing all the morning.
Oh? What did he say?
I don't know. He didn't answer it. But you can't mistake his ring.
Oh, dear me. Hello, General Assistance Department.
Lennox Brown, where the devil you been all morning?
Sir Gregory. You're wondering why we didn't answer the phone? Yes. Well, it's faulty. It didn't ring, you see.
Didn't ring?
And when it doesn't ring, it's our usual practice not to answer it.
Stop blathering, Lennox Brown. Now, this election business, do you know Grimley North?
Grimley North? No. He's an author, isn't he?
Grimley North is a place, a parliamentary constituency. Didn't you read the memo I sent you?
Memo? Oh, yes. Yes, of course I read it. Oh, my word, yes. Sir Gregory's memo, too. Find it.
Yes, right, all right. Ooh, what a ghastly old boy he is.
Well, you certainly have a command of language, Sir Ghastly.
Listen, Lennox Brown, have you grasped all the facts?
Oh, yes, my number 2 has all the basic data in his head. In fact, I'd say he's got it in a nutshell.
I don't believe you read my memo at all.
Here it is, one.
Oh, good, thank you. Oh, yes, we've read it all right, sir. Yes, I have it in front of me now in your own handwriting. Your secretary away, is she?
Matter of fact, yes. Spotting nervous trouble.
Ah, yes, of course, yes. Well, I gather that Grimley North is having a pie collection.
By-election.
Didn't I say that, Sir Gregory?
Get the details from the Home Office and get on a train to Grimley.
I always thought constituencies supplied their own electoral officers.
Well, on certain occasions when Whitehall steps in, inadequate local facilities, say, or the need for extra impartiality or expertise.
And why are we stepping in this time?
They've all got mumps.
Oh. I'm rather vague about it. What happens exactly?
Well, your neck swells up and you feel off.
No. I mean the election.
Oh, we'll worry about that later, too. But fortunately, all the preliminary work's been done by one councilman who didn't catch mumps, Mr. Rumbold.
My word, he must have been busy. He'll be glad to see us.
Why can't they keep the ruddy, bureaucratic London noses out of our by-election?
Can I quote you on that, Mr. Rumbold? I said, can I quote you on that?
No! I do all the hard work and they come in and snatch the glory.
Can I quote you on that, Mr. Rumbold?
No! Ooh, I could spit.
Can I quote you on
Ah, good morning. I'm Lennox Brown, and this is Lamb here. We're from the General Assistance Department.
Oh, how nice. I am glad to see you.
Oh. That's not what you just said.
Get out, you snivelling. Get back to that filthy gutter rag of yours. Get out.
Oh, thank you very much. I said thank you very much.
Well, I'm Rumbold, Council Public Relations Officer.
How do you do? You've already done a little work on this by-election?
You might put it like that.
Good.
Single-handed, I brought it back from the brink of disaster.
And now we are here to take it over.
By the way, what happened to your last Member of Parliament?
Brigadier Bletchworth. Oh, tragedy. A hunting accident.
Oh, dear me.
Yes, he was under the bed hunting for his collar stud when the whole thing collapsed.
Oh, dear.
Mind you, he had a good life. He was a sexagenarian.
Was he? Perhaps that's why the bed collapsed.
The election candidate should be here shortly. There's one now, just got out of a sports car. Mrs. De Vere Quincy Watling.
Oh, by Jove, topless.
What? The sports car, yes.
Ghastly woman, mutton dressed as lamb. Oh, Mrs. Quincy Watling, a pleasure to see you.
Morning, Rumbold. Called to hand you my nomination papers.
Oh, don't hand them to me. I'm not thought fit to receive them. Oh, no, we've got London down. I might as well go and...
Nomination papers, you say?
Yes. Quite confident of victory, of course.
Oh.
I got a splendid election slogan. Oh. If you don't want to see initiative throttling, vote for Mrs. De Vere Quincy Watling.
My word.
There aren't many words that rhyme with De Vere Quincy Watling.
No. What's the name of the other candidate?
Oh, no problem there. His name's Kelly.
Has anybody here seen him?
I'll do. Kelly, you'll not mind me cycle clips. Some of us can't afford flash sports cars. Some of us has to work down the pit. Aye, the pit. In all that muck and darkness.
Mr. Kelly conducts the local theatre orchestra.
Well, you're here with your nomination papers, Mr. Kelly?
Aye, and I'm expecting to win.
Most householders have put my picture in their windows.
Aye, to scare off burglars.
Please, let's keep our arguments for the public platform.
Well, she gets right up my nose, I'm telling you. I know her lot. Kowtow to the bankers, live off the fat of the land. They're all the same, them socialists.
Well, all you Tories think of is buttering up the workers. People like you should be horsewhipped.
This election's becoming quite heated, too. I imagine we'll get a large poll.
We'll need one to keep those two apart.
Well, feelings run strongly up here, you know, too. An election's a very big event. I'm sure the local people think of nothing else.
Come on, Rockwell. Oh, that's it, girl. Oh.
Fred, wake up. Your leg's going again.
What? Oh, it's you, Ada. Oh, I was having that bad dream again. You and the barmaid at the Rose and Crown was fighting over me.
Well, is that a bad dream, Fred?
Yeah, you kept winning. I'll just nod off and give it another chance.
You can't nod off again. It's your tea time. I'm laying the table. Put your boots on.
Why do you want me boots on the tea table?
Oh. It ain't decent eating prunes with no boots on.
Well, where's me coronation spoon?
Little Sidney dropped it down the wash name.
Our little grandson, he's been here. He's a bright little nipper, young Sidney. How old is he now?
Oh, it's his first birthday next week.
Funny, him coming so long after the others.
I reckon it was our Grace giving up smoking. We were talking about his school.
School? Well, he'll go to Arnott Street, won't he? It's one of them second-rate moderns. An apprehensive school.
I don't want him going to Arnott Street, Fred. I've got plans for that boy.
Plans, Ada?
I don't want him at no apprehensive school. I want him at that posh grammar school, St. Candida's.
The Candida? Are we going to get the money for that?
There's what we got under the mattress.
You can't sell the bed, Ada. Where are we going to sleep?
I mean the insurance money.
Oh.
That's what I'll use, see? Once he's been to grammar school, he can get a top job.
Oh, yeah, like a meter reader or working down Labour Exchange.
Aye.
But you've got to put his name down years ahead for the Candida. I saw that in the local paper.
Well, perhaps I'd better go down today. I wonder who I have to see.
Oh, well, the town hall would know. It was them that cleared our drains. Where's me best tea?
In the bowl with the walnuts.
Oh.
I shan't be long. I'll just nip down the town hall and put little Sidney's name down for the Candida School.
Come along, you'll go. We haven't got all day, you know.
I was just working it out one. I can checkmate you on my next move.
Checkmate? Let's see. I think not to. I shall use the Rudge defence.
You've tipped the board over with your elbow.
Oh, did I? Oh, dear. The game's ruined now, isn't it? Never fails, the Rudge defence.
Is that Rudge of the Board of Trade?
Yes, that's him, unorthodox player. Played with the club, you know.
Huh?
Yes, if you made a move he didn't like, he hit you over the head with it.
Poor old Rudge.
Excuse me, I'm from the Grimley Clarion. I said the Grimley Clarion. I was hoping to interview you.
Well, we're not here to seek publicity for ourselves, you know. I'm Lennox Brown, two N's. Raconteur, clubman, war hero.
And I'm Richard Lamb, his number 2.
How do you spell that?
TWO.
We're very busy here, of course. We have to stay in this office and receive all nominations as they come in. Whatever the number, they must all be dealt with personally.
How many have you had so far?
2.
I take it there's no independent candidate then?
The day's not over yet. There might be other candidacies.
I noticed a woman waiting outside.
Oh, did you? Yes. Oh, we'll send her in then, will you? Right, well, off you go.
Right, thanks.
Strange chap, that reporter. Have you noticed he has a blue tongue?
I expect it's because he licks his ballpoint before he writes.
Nervous, of course. He's written all over his face.
What about this woman outside? Do you think she's another election candidate?
Well, let's hope so, too. 2 isn't much of a choice, is it?
No.
Yes, I've a feeling this is another nomination coming up.
Oh, good afternoon, sir. I've come about our Sydney. Is this the place? I want to put him down for the candidacy.
You ought to. I was right.
Yes, well, come in, madam. Have you his nomination papers?
Oh, no, I don't know nothing about that. I just know you've got to put his name down in advance.
Yes, of course, yes. We'll fill in the form for him. Now, what is his name?
Higgs, sir. Sidney Higgs. He's my grandson.
Yes, Sidney Higgs. Now, what about his party?
Oh, that's all arranged for next week, sir. He's almost won, you know.
Oh, well, I mean, you can't take these things for granted, can you? All I mean is we mustn't be too optimistic, yeah?
Still, he's taken the first steps.
Oh, he has, yes. He's been trying to stand for months.
Well, this is his big chance.
Very independent he is.
Independent? See, yes, write that down, too.
Yes, right.
Sidney Higgs, independent.
Independent, yes. Mind you, if he's independent, he'll need a big swing.
He'll be getting one, sir. All right. But we've been looking for a safe seat, you see.
Well, you're certainly confident, madam, yeah.
The only snag is the exams. Will he have to pass any exams?
Oh, no. You needn't know anything to get in.
In fact, it often helps if you don't.
What'll happen to him when he gets there? His first day, I mean.
Well, he'll be introduced to the chamber.
Oh! He knows about that already, sir.
Oh, well, then he should do well, huh?
Yes, the only thing left is the deposit. £150, please.
Oh, here you are, sir. Oh, that's very fair. I thought it was more. Still, I suppose we have to pay every year once he's in.
Oh, no. They pay him. Quite good money, too, yeah.
Oh, it's no wonder they all want to go, dear. Well, I'll tell them it's all fixed up. Oh, thank you, sir. You've been very helpful.
Well, the election's properly underway now, too. 3 candidates, and may the best one win.
Yes.
Hello, this is Forth Robinson here at the Grimley by-election. Life in Grimley centres on this fine old square with its ancient buildings and Victorian horse trough in which I'm standing. Each day from opposite sides, 2 loudspeakers blare at each other. Their names are Kelly and Quincy Watling, and they are the major candidates. Voters here have many issues to consider. I stopped one housewife this morning and asked her if she fancied a change, and in which field. This nasty bruise on my head is the result. But the main interest centres on the mysterious third candidate, Sidney Higgs, who hasn't spoken yet. Indeed, he hasn't even been seen. As a result, he's gained a lot of support. But why is Sidney Higgs standing? Is it because he feels it's time for a change? And just who is Sidney Higgs?
I'm back, sir. I said I'm back.
Oh, it's you. Keep walking around with that card on your hat saying press and somebody will.
I've been all over town, like you said, trying to find out about Sidney Higgs, and no one's ever heard of him.
I didn't hear you say that. We've to feature all 3 candidates, and we will. Now, what would he look like? Tall or short?
Bit of both, perhaps. I said a bit of both.
Ah, that's better be done. Now, what sort of colour would his hair be?
It could be brown with a name like that. Only more black, you know. Almost grey.
Good. And what are his policies?
Sort of middle of the road extremist, with leanings to the left and to the right.
That's fine reporting. Now, we'll soon put together a couple of columns.
If you think anyone will be interested.
Everyone's interested. This Higgs is running a shrewd campaign. He's almost up to polling day without offending anyone.
The local paper's full of the election one. Look, it's got photos of all 3 candidates.
Oh, yes. There's Mrs. Quincy Watling and Mr. Kelly.
Yeah?
And according to the caption, that's the independent Sidney Higgs.
Bit out of focus. Looks like a marrow with specs on.
He's the one people want to know about. He's in all the national papers, you know. Look at these headlines.
Oh, yes. Silent Sydney may romp home.
Well, the country's eyes are on us, too. Just wait for election night. It'll all be on TV, you know.
Hello, this is Forth Robinson here in Grimley for election night. And a huge crowd awaits the result outside the town hall, many of them spilling over onto the forecourt, with its statues and ornamental fountain in which I'm standing. It's been a very close contest, and for the last few days, both major parties have been working on a huge canvas. It's now stretched over the balcony and should keep the rain off. Over on my left, voluntary workers are handing out hot cups of tea. Aha, now the crowd are stirring. But we've a while to wait for the result yet, so I'll hand you back to Anna Parv in the studio.
Thank you, Forth Robinson. We continue election focus with a word from Bob McFrenzy on the swingometer. Bob?
Well, it's a bit early yet to analyze the results since we haven't got one, but we do have a pointer in the survey carried out on the opinions of Mrs. Mabel Green, a Grimley housewife. Now, she plumped 100% for the Tories. Anna.
Thank you, Bob. Well, if this result is reflected throughout the constituency, we should see a Tory win. Bob?
Thank you, Anna. We've just had the result of a further survey carried out on Mr. Green. He was 100% Labour. Anna?
Thank you, Bob. Well, that does change the picture. Labour has made a dramatic comeback. This is very exciting. Let's go over to Forth Robinson for his views.
Thank you, Anna. Yes, it's very exciting indeed. Now back to the studio.
Thank you, Forth. However, there is an independent candidate. Bob?
Yes, I'd like to speculate on his chances, but this seat is rather unpredictable. In fact, I'm afraid it may collapse beneath me at any moment. Anna?
Oh, dear. He's fallen down on his assessment. Forth Robinson is signalling. Let's go back to Grimley.
Thank you, Anna. And here at Grimley, the returning officer, Mr. Lennox Brown, has just come out on the balcony. And as he did so, a great cry went up from the crowd below. He'd knocked several plant pots down on their heads. It seems he's about to announce the result.
The votes for the candidates are as follows. Quincy Watling, Cecily de Vere, 9,010. Kelly, Anthony Wedgwood, 10,009. Higgs, Sidney, 12,691. And I declare the said Sidney Higgs duly elected to serve as Member of Parliament for Grimley. Well, that's that job over too. Did you see me out there?
Yes.
Yes. All the TV cameras on me, eh?
Yes.
I thought I did rather well.
Yes.
Spoke clearly, you know, never faltered. Air of calm dignity.
Yes. Bit of your trousers fell down.
Yes, well, I've been thinking about that. Just look at these braces. Those ends aren't frayed. That's a clean cut. Rumbold was right behind me, you know.
It's funny Higgs wasn't here for the announcement.
Oh, probably thought he had no chance. He'll soon turn up.
Excuse me.
Oh, it's that reporter chap.
I just popped in to congratulate you, Mr. Lennox Brown. You certainly showed us locals a thing or two. I said you showed us a thing or two.
Yes, well.
And Mr. Lamb, Mr. Rumbold asked me to return your nail scissors.
Oh, thanks.
Nail scissors? I'll see you later, too.
Oh, and there's a Mr. and Mrs. Higgs waiting outside.
Ah, there you are, too. Yes, I said he'd be here. With his wife, it seems. Yes.
I'll send them in on my way out. I said, on my way out.
Two. You lent that devil Rumbold your scissors?
Well, I wasn't to know, was I? He just said he wanted to expose an ugly little blister. Anyway, this is one job that's really worked.
True, yes. Thanks to us, there'll be a new force in Parliament, a wind of change.
Evening, sir. Fred and me thought we'd come and thank you for getting our Sydney in, sir.
Ah, well, just doing our job, you know.
We brought him along, sir. He's outside.
Oh, splendid, splendid. Yes, we were wondering when we'd see him. Wheel him in.
Right, you know, Anne, I was beginning to think he wasn't real.
Well, you mean a sort of dummy candidate?
Yes.
Here he is, sir. Meet our grandson, Sydney Higgs.
What a charming... What? This is Sydney Higgs?
Yes, sir. This is Sydney. What you got into grammar school like we asked.
Grammar school? Got into... What?
I get into Natchez one. I think we've made one of our little boo-boos.
You're entitled to an adjective. You've had a baby elected to Parliament.
But I mean, how you...
Oh, that'll do. I said Natchez, not boggling. Now, what we've got to do is find a way out of this.
And here is the news read by Anna Purv. It was announced today that the newly elected MP for Grimley, Mr. Sydney Higgs, has applied for the Chiltern Hundreds, the traditional way for an MP to give up his seat. A ministry spokesman said he was resigning in order to pursue his business interests. Mr. Higgs is in waterproof materials. A correspondent who managed to get Mr. Higgs on the phone said his only comment was, "Izu diddums." He was interrupted by the ministry spokesman, who said this was a reference to Sheikh Izu Diddums, a little-known Middle Eastern politician. Another by-election will be held in Grimley immediately.
I see you back then. They couldn't give me the job, oh no. Well, I don't care. I'm not ambitious. They can pass me over any time. I'm only
Dear me, if he gets more lines on his forehead, he'll have to screw his hat on.
Still, everyone else is happy. Little Sydney's accepted for St. Candidates. Did you know?
Well, yes. I mean, they could hardly refuse him, could they? Steward of the Chiltern Hundreds.
Ex-MP. 3 firms have offered him a seat on the board, apparently.
And we've made a good start on the new election.
Yeah.
You've got the 2 nominations there, have you?
3 nominations.
3?
Yeah, I found another while you were at lunch. In this tray here, someone called Rupert of Danzig. Odd chap, from the look of his nomination paper, he's had distemper 3 times.
2. Put that back in the dog license tray.
What?
Put it away.
Up the poll as the men from the ministry were Richard Murdoch and Deryck Guyler. Also featured were Norma Ronald, Ronald Baddiley and John Graham. The programme was written by Johnnie Mortimer, Brian Cooke and Edward Taylor and produced by Edward Taylor.